Alright, so today we got our faithful 4Runner 2005 V6 4-liter engine, and this car has been missing on a couple of cylinders on and off, and so today we're going to change the ignition coils, and we're going to try to correct an error of mine when I first got the car. I'll show you guys in just a second. This is our 4Runner, and as you can see right here is one ignition coil. Here's another one behind there, and here's the third one, and then it says it's a V6. The other three are right here. There's 1, 2, and 3. And when I first bought this car, I bought some cheap ignition coils and I put them in the engine, thinking that they were gonna behave and they were gonna do well, and over time they've been failing, so I've been having to replace them one at a time. So today we're gonna replace the last 3, and we'll see if the car behaves a little better. Alright, so first we're gonna do the hard side. The driver's side is the difficult side because we have to try to get in here, and over here we also got an obstruction, so we will try to do this one first. If you can tell, this one has already been replaced. So in order to get to this one, I'm gonna remove this out of here, and we're gonna use a 10 millimeter socket. That pretty much breaks the entire car apart. So we're gonna sneak in there. Okay, we're just gonna get it loose. And before we move on, we're gonna get the connector out. So once the connector's out, we can finish taking it off. Okay, it's out. I'm trying to be careful because this is really hot. And this one came out pretty easy. Ignition coil out. Now we're gonna put the new ignition coil, and these are C1426-4 from Duralast. You can find these in AutoZone. Great store, great people. So I'm gonna get a brand new one out of the box. And boom, here it is. So this is a good quality ignition coil. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to sneak it in place. And at the very last inch, you'll see some resistance as it's going into the spark plug. I'm gonna go ahead and hand start the bolt. And then I'm gonna get in and put in the connector. And when I get it in, you're gonna hear it click. There you go. You went in. And now I'm gonna tighten it up. It's going to be hand tightened, and that's all she wrote. So we just changed the first ignition coil right there. Now we're gonna move to the, all right, so to remove this ignition coil, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be ignition coil number 5. We need to remove this hose. This hose goes to the PCV valve, and that way we can have access in there. And it's kind of tough because like the car is still hot, but we're gonna go ahead and try to get it off. Right, so this hose is pretty tight in there, so we're gonna slowly get it out, encourage it to come out. And now I'm gonna get the clip off, save it, and now I can actually get this hose out of the way. And now we got access to the spark plug. Let's see if we can encourage it to come out. And there it came out. All right, good job. So now we're gonna take our 10mm handy dandy, and we're gonna try to undo this guy. Alrighty. So we're gonna undo it all the way out. And when it gets easy, we're gonna be able to undo it by hand. Okay, so bolt comes out. Let's see if we can now undo this guy. And guess what? It comes all the way out. So second ignition coil done. We're gonna take our second ignition coil from the bag. We're gonna get it out. Brand new ignition coil. Here's the part number that you're going to need. And AutoZone will be more than happy to refer you to the right part. We're gonna sneak it in place. You can see that in the last inch and a half, it'll offer some resistance, and that's because it's trying to seat on top of the spark plug. We're gonna push it down, and now we're gonna take our bolt back, and we're gonna put it back on, start it by hand. You should really start by hand. You need to be careful not to cross thread them. And once it gets kind of seated in place, before you do anything else, we're going to plug the connector back on. And you're gonna hear it click, I hope. Just like that. And now we're going to put our 10mm socket. We're gonna screw it in, hand tight. Very good. We're gonna take the hose from our PVC valve, and we're gonna sneak it in here, and we're going to put it back in place. Oh, hang on, I forgot my clamp. So we're gonna put the clamp in first. Okay, now we're gonna stick it in there all the way up, and we're gonna hold it with our clamp right there, and we're gonna make sure our insulation is well placed. So now we got two of them replaced. Not so bad. Let's go to the other side. So this is the passenger side. This is what some people call the easy side. Why? Because all that we have to do is remove the air filter like this, 2 clips, and it comes off, and guess what? You got all of a sudden full access, no restrictions. This one we've already replaced, and these two are the ones that we're going to change next. Sorry, only this one. So we're going to put our 10mm socket, and good night. There you go. And it should come off. And now it can come off by hand. This is your bolt. Now we're gonna unplug the connector. We're gonna encourage it. Okay, so it came right off there, and now it's just gonna come right off. Third coil out. So we're gonna take our third and last coil and so my friend Peter across the street is with me. He's always ripping on me because I'm always working on this damn car. So we put our 10mm socket, we hand tighten it, there you go, and then we plug the connector. There you go, that was a click. And that's it, we're done. We put the air filter back on. Keep it in place and it's over. It's all done. All right, so last test we want to do after we replace the ignition coils is just test the car. So let's go open it, get it started, and everything seems to be working okay. No skipping that I can detect. So I am gonna call this one a good fix. It's quick, is fairly expensive because this ignition coils are about 40 bucks a pop, and of course you need 6. Now if you go to AutoZone, they'll give you a deal if you buy 5 or 6 in a box. So if you do change the coils, my recommendation is that you change all of them at one time instead of 8. I change them one at a time, and all it does, it just makes you work more. So hopefully this helps you, and keep your truck happy. Subscribe, and of course send me any questions if you have any.